Welcome to the world of post-war transitions. I am Dr. Tazrina Sajjad and I'm with the School of International Service at American University. I've been teaching at SIS since 2011, but I also come to the school with some degree of practice in the field of post-war transitions. I have worked in the field of democratization, rule of law, human rights in conflict, and gender in conflict as a practitioner. So a course like this is very interesting for me because it allows me to marry my interests in terms of scholarship in the field of something like humanitarian interventions or human rights in conflict or gender in conflict and transitional justice with my background in terms of being a practitioner. I'm extremely excited to have you in this class because a course like this is an elective, which means that you are not forced to take it, you want to take it because you want to learn. You may be a student of law. You may be someone who has been working in the State Department in the field of policy. You may be someone who has worked in the field of international development assistance for several years. You may be someone who has just graduated from your undergraduate program and want to learn more about a field like this in terms of pursuing your master's degree. All in all, each of you are coming into this class with a lot of interest, curiosity, as well as sometimes great understanding. This is all a great resource for the kind of course this is geared to be. In other words, don't be intimidated by the things that you don't know. That's not important. What is important is that you are curious. What is important is that you wish to learn. What is important is that you are willing to engage with some controversial debates and discussions that the world of post-war transitions involves. I want you to understand that the field of post-war transitions and post-conflict reconstruction, and the terms are kind of used interchangeably, is a vast field. It is also extremely fast-growing. There are so many debates and discussions that are shaping the frontier of this field that we haven't seen the end of it yet. This also means that it has a lot of relevance in terms of questions of policy, questions of practice, and questions of research. Bring to the class everything you know, and then be prepared to ask questions about things that you don't know. This will only enhance your understanding of issues, of context, and tensions in the field, and make this a far more interesting learning experience. Use each other as a resource. Of course, I'm here to guide you throughout the 15 weeks of course, but don't be afraid to ask each other questions based on their experiences or each of your experiences with regard to policy, practice, or just having lived in a conflict zone and therefore having a personal experience to narrate if you wish to share it with the rest of the class. Never be afraid to ask questions of any type, shape, or form related to the course matter. It does not matter if you don't understand international human rights regimes or international human rights law. It doesn't matter if you don't understand microeconomics or macroeconomics, or the fact you've never thought of electoral systems. Asking is the first step towards knowing, and if you are brave enough to ask, you're probably doing yourself and someone else in your class a great favor, because you are going to be the spokesperson for a confusion that requires clarification. Always study the syllabus. The syllabus is a living, breathing, documented piece of information that is out there that is supposed to guide you through the weeks of class that you're intended to pursue. Take time to know it. If you still have questions about the syllabus, absolutely ask me. Fifth, pay attention to all the lectures, the class assignments, online discussions, and debates. A course like this has been split into two in terms of structuring it. At one level, there are the online lectures. These are designed to be standalone, which is you actually don't have to do the readings for the class to listen to the lectures. That means the lectures are going to provide you with the key concepts, key definitions, sometimes the history of the different kinds of concepts and practices in the field, as well as familiarize you with the way things have been done and the kind of issues each dimension of post-conflict transition deals with, whether it's political, economic, social, moral, legal, or ethical. Then you can actually go to your readings and be far more confident about what you're going to engage with. Of course, if you wish to do your readings prior to each lecture, you are more than welcome. There are just two ways of doing it, but the lectures are actually standalone, so you can do the lectures first before you engage with the readings for the class. Keep in mind that the course does not only comprise of lectures. This is supposed to be a dynamic course, so the course lectures are comprising of online debates and discussions representing student perspectives, student confusions from peers such as yourself. It has video clips and documentaries to enhance some of the issues that we are going to discuss in the course of the class. And the class also has a lot of different questions built in, which will tease you to talk about certain issues, get your first impressions about certain of the concepts we are going to discuss, as well as allow you to debate and discuss with each other certain of the topics we are going to cover. You don't always have to write full, complete sentences. In fact, the questions themselves will give you some kind of an idea of whether you want to write something in great detail or whether throwing out some words and phrases are just as important in order to get you started to think about some issues critically. Finally, and most importantly, try and enjoy the course. You are in charge of your own learning, and so the more engaged you are with the syllabus, with the debates, with the readings, and with the lectures, the much more possibilities of you to learn and learn effectively. So without further ado, let's get started.